Hello, my name is Rob Morris. I'm the product line manager for EdgeTech Acoustic Release Products. Today I'm going to go over EdgeTech Trap Tracker in detail, as well as updates we've done to Trap Tracker and our hardware for 2021. The Trap Tracker application was created to control the 5112 Ropeless inline on-demand fishing system and collect data to store in our database and share with other fishers and regulators. It runs on iOS and Android devices, connects via Bluetooth to our deck unit, which sends commands and receives status information from the underwater units, and it plots the position of underwater units on Navionics charts. Trap Tracker reads underwater unit NFC tags and loads the release information to the Trap Tracker app. It sends status queries to get information like battery status, tilt, and range to the ropeless system. It also records individual unit history on the device that can be stored and exported. It can also export universal G. So I'd like to get into the Trap Tracker app in a little more detail now. This is the main menu page. This page is where access to all the functions of Trap Tracker start. It allows for Bluetooth pairing to the Bleat deck unit. It navigates to the underwater units page, shows charts and ropeless fishing units deployed, navigates to the sync page where the fisher can sync their data to the cloud manually. It also navigates to the history page where the fisher can view and sort their history and export it if desired. It also navigates to the settings page where units can be set, deck box power and sensitivity can be changed based on conditions, command timeout can be changed from long to the default, and user subscription settings can be. This is the underwater units page. Universal ID commands request ID from all underwater units within range. It allows editing or manually adding underwater units. It allows commands to be sent manually instead of from the underwater units page. Geolocation uses trilateration to position underwater units on the ocean floor if desired. And you can sort unit lists, allows for underwater units to be listed by serial number and when deployed or recovered. The Trap Tracker Underwater Units page. The Underwater Units page shows details of each underwater unit, such as unique serial number, date of manufacturer, date battery was replaced, the release command, the status command, the last status received, range to the underwater unit, tilt indicator, and battery status percentage of life. Operational details such as deployed yes or no, date and time deployed, deployed position, which can also be edited if trilateration position is desired, recovered position, range, and temperature. This is the charts page. On this page, you can always view your traps anywhere in the world. You can view other fishers' traps or trawl positions if you are within 5 nautical miles. You can press the update button to download other users' traps within a 25 nautical mile radius. You can export traps to a chart plotter in GPX file format. You can access the Navionics charting program, and you can download Navionics charts for offline use. The update function. The update button is what downloads other users' traps from the cloud database. With a Wi-Fi connection, the data is updated from the database in real time and maintains a history. When the chart is updated, it downloads about 25 nautical mile radius of other users' traps based on the user's last device location. From that, it displays about 5 nautical mile radius of other users' traps onto the chart. It will also update the 5 nautical mile display radius each time the user moves about 500 meters, or a third of a mile. If the user navigates away from the charts page, minimizes or closes the app, it will also update the 5 nautical mile display radius when the user returns to the charts page. If the user is on the charts page for 30 minutes or more, it will update the 5 nautical mile display radius automatically at each 30-minute interval. Here's an example of the Trap Tracker chart. On the left-hand side, you can see there are red lines and points and yellow lines and points. The red lines and points are other fishers' trawls. The yellow are the actual fisher that's using the program's trawls and points. You can also see that when you tap on any point, you will get a unique serial number and the lat long of that actual trap or trawl. This is an illustration of what happens when you use the update function. The 25 mile radius is the red circle. So when you click the update, or when the update happens, it downloads from the cloud all users' data that's within that circle, that 25-mile circle. The blue circle, think of it sort of as a spotlight of the fisher that's using the app. And as he moves around that 25-mile circle, he can see other people's equipment or gear when he gets within that 5-mile radius area. And you can see here that he can see his trawls in yellow, but he can't see the ones in red. So here you can see that the fisher has moved around inside that 25-mile radius, and he can actually now see other people's gear within his 5-mile radius zone. This is the sync page. The sync function sends data from the Trap Tracker app to the cloud database. A sync occurs automatically when the app is opened or closed, a unit is added or deleted, or when navigating away from an underwater unit's detail page. The data that's recorded are unit details like serial number, deployments, recoveries, and status. In the page, you can see when the last time you synced was to make sure that you're actively syncing with the cloud database. This is the Trap Tracker history page, and this is where you can look at the history of all underwater units that you've ever deployed or recovered. It's saved for as long as you want to save it. You can export this in an Excel spreadsheet form. You can email it to yourself. You can download the history, and you can share this history with other people if you like. You can also sort by serial number or sort by date. This is an example of the history that gets exported. You can see that it includes date and time deployed, serial number, whether it was deployed or not, whether it was a single point or a trawl, beginning and ending of each position. It also gives range to the release when it was released. It records temperature on the bottom one time when it's released. You can also include catch quantity and trap count if you want to. This is the settings page. In this page, you can choose units for slant range, 2 unit, as meters, nautical miles, or fathoms. You can change the latitude and longitude format. You can change the temperature from Fahrenheit to centigrade. You can set the deck box power settings and sensitivity, and you can view your user account and subscriptions. The cloud database is available to fishery regulators and enforcement. The underwater unit data stored has a life cycle of 8 days and is downloadable. If they want to keep a history, they can download the data once each week, and they will have a comprehensive long-term history. All fishers can see their own trawl or trap positions from anywhere in the world, but other fishers can only see the other gear within 5 nautical mile radius of their position. The app also collects temperature data from each recovery and trap count and catch quantities, which may be useful to the fishers, and that can also be recorded. Real-time underwater unit updates from the database while at sea requires a Wi-Fi connection to the internet, either from a cellular service or a satellite system. We've had good results using a cellular booster, but when out of cell range, a satellite system would be required. To assess how much data would be used and how efficiently the updates would occur, we purchased a Cobham Sailor Fleet 1 satellite system and subscribed to AST as a service provider. The plan we selected included unlimited data for $192 per month. We tested the SAT Wi-Fi internet connection at sea for 2 months this summer. The results proved that an at-sea real-time update for both mobile and fixed gear fishers could be obtained at a reasonable price point. For fishers not using the EdgeDeck Ropeless fishing system hardware, but wanting to see any EdgeDeck systems deployed within a 5-mile radius, all that will be required is the EdgeDeck Trap Tracker application in either a cellular or a satellite Wi-Fi connection. No other expensive hardware or transducers is needed. This is an example of one of the unit's database dumps from the cloud database. This is what regulators would be pulling down from the cloud to plot on charts. This is an example of data that was pulled from the cloud database and then plotted on a chart. In this plot here, there are 12 different trawls, approximately 1.5 miles long, plotted on a chart. The main changes for 2021 were In the Trap Tracker app, we added slant range units in fathoms, location configuration in degrees, minutes, seconds, release timeout long delay to support the smelts lift bag systems. We added geolocation using trilateration function to better position ropeless fishing systems on the bottom if desired. The hardware changes included removable flotation so that release cages could be stacked, a new release link for easier rearming of the system, 12-volt input to the portable bleat deck unit, and hull mount transducer option. So thanks everyone for taking the time to watch this short presentation. If you have any questions at all, you can email me at rob.morris@edgetech.com. Thanks again.